Okay, so we're going to get started today with our personal pronouns unit. We've talked about nouns, now we're going to talk about pronouns. So we're going to take some notes today. So we're going to begin with our define. And you're going to need to make a chart that says term, it should have 3 columns in it, term, image, meaning, okay? And you really only have to write the image one time and then you can draw your arrow down. Just underline or highlight the pronouns that they talk about in the image. Okay, so our first definition that we need to write in our notebook is a personal pronoun. And a personal pronoun is she or us, and basically its job is to replace the subject or the object of a sentence. Now, there's different kinds of pronouns. Okay, there's subject or nominative case pronoun, which serves as a subject of a sentence or a clause. So she is a subject or a nominative pronoun, and it takes the place of a person. So it would take the place, like Miss Hildreth gave us help at the animal shelter. We could take out Miss Hildreth and we could replace it with she. Okay, so subject or nominative case of a pronoun serves as a subject of a sentence or a clause. She would take the place of an example like Miss Hildreth, Callie, Kaylee, any name. She, if it's a subject of a sentence, she would take the place of it. Okay. Our other type of object of pronoun that we're going to talk about today is an object or objective case pronoun. Okay. The example in this sentence is us. She gave us help at the animal shelter. And an objective pronoun serves as the object of a verb or a preposition. So it's going to come in the predicate of the sentence. Okay? So we have a personal pronoun replaces the subject or the object of a sentence, and examples would be she and us. Subject or nominative case pronoun serves as the subject of a sentence or a clause, and a clause is another word for a sentence. And an example would be she. An object pronoun, object or objective case, serves as the object of a verb or a preposition, comes in the predicate of the sentence, comes after a verb, as you see in this case, comes after the action verb gave, and our example would be us. Okay. So now we're going to move on to model. Okay, the model is going to give us just a little bit more detail. So personal pronouns are pronouns used to refer to persons or things. They can be singular or plural. You need to write that down. 2 cases or forms that pronouns take are nominative case or the subject and an objective case or the object. Each case is determined by how the pronouns function in a sentence. Okay, you need to write this down. So you need to put down some examples. Subject pronouns. Singular, now if you remember, singular means one. So you have I, you, he, she, or it. A plural is more than one. So we have we. You can either be singular or plural, depending on who you're talking about. And we have they. Okay, so subjects come at the beginning of the sentence. They tell us who or what's doing something in the sentence. All right, our other example that you need to write down is object pronouns. So you have a singular and a plural. Again, singular, one, plural, more than one. And our examples for singular are me, you, him, and her. Okay, plural is us, you, or them. You can be either singular or plural as an objective pronoun as well. Then they gave us some examples. You do not have to write these down. I just want you to read through them and follow along with me. I noticed other differences. None of them were very reassuring. Okay? The subject pronoun I is the subject of the sentence. Them is an objective pronoun. Okay? In this next example, in our isolated Greek village, my mother had bribed a cousin to teach her to read, for girls were not supposed to attend school beyond a certain age. Her, the object pronoun her, is the object of the verb teach. Comes up after the action verb teach. Okay? Comes in the predicate of the sentence. Next example. His wife then told him our story, and Guan Ali took pity on us. So, the object pronoun him is the object of the verb told. The object pronoun us is the object of the preposition us. They both come in the predicate of the sentence. All right, last example. When writing, make sure to use pronouns in the correct case. They enjoyed the movie. Them enjoyed the movie. They is a subject in subjective or a nominative or a subject pronoun. So that's why we use they. Them is an objective. And so that's why we wouldn't use it. It would need to come after the verb, not before it. My baby sister tries to imitate me. We would use me because it's an objective pronoun, comes after the verb imitate. We wouldn't say my baby sister tries to imitate I because I is a subject or a nominative pronoun. Okay, please, if you need to go back and rewind or pause at any time, go ahead and do so. On this page, you need to have written down that in your notes that pronouns can either be singular or plural. You need to have the examples of subject pronouns and list singular and plural. I, you, he, she, it. Plural, we, you, they. For object pronouns, you have singular, me, you, him, her. Plural, us, you, and them. You do not have to write the examples down at the bottom. Okay, if you're ready to go, let's click on your turn. All right, so in the your turn, here's some practice for you. So in the first part, for question 1, it says drag and drop each sentence in the correct column. So, her was happy we decided to join her. If you think that's correct, you're going to drag it to the correct column. If you think it's incorrect, you're going to click and you're going to put it in the incorrect. I'm going to do this first one for you, and I'm going to put it in the incorrect column. Her, if you remember, or if you go back to your notes, is an object pronoun. It goes in the predicate. It should come after the verb. So that's why I put it in that column. Okay, so you're going to do the same thing for the other sentences. Read them to yourself and then place them in the correct column. Okay, if you have any questions, please come see me and make sure that you use your notes. All right, question 2. Now, it says choose the best answer to each question. How should this sentence be changed? Okay, and they give you a sentence. They found that animals were easier to draw than people. Now, and they give you 4 choices. Change they to her, change they to them, change they to him, or no change needs to be made in the sentence. Well, let's see. Her found that animals were easier to draw than people. Doesn't make any sense. Them found that animals were easier to draw than people. Doesn't make any sense. Him found that animals were easier to draw than people. They found. So they is correct, so I'm just going to click D, no change, and I'm going to go on to question number 2. And you're going to do the same thing. Like number 2 says, how should this sentence be changed? Helen gave he a schedule of the club's meetings. So you're going to go into Connect Ed, and you're going to do exactly what I'm doing. All right? And they give you the choices. Change he to she, change he to him, change he to they, or no change needs to be made in the sentence. Question number 3. How should this sentence be changed? Us taught them the new computer game. Change them to they, change them to we, change us to we, or no change to be made in the sentence. Okay? And read them out loud just like I'm doing. All right, question number 4. How should this sentence be changed? Him watched the sun as it sank in a blaze of orange and red. Change him to her. Change him to them. Letter C, change him to he. Or D, no change needs to be made in the sentence. So you are going to read the sentences, read the change, and click what you think is the best answer. If you're not sure, come ask me and I can help you. All right, question number 3, last part. It says, read each rule and sample sentence below. In the 3rd column, write your own sentence that follows the rule. The first example has been done for you. Okay, so our rule is use a subject pronoun as the subject of the sentence. And our sample sentence says, after swimming for hours, he was very tired. So I changed it to, or they changed it to, after studying for hours, I was sure I would do well on the quiz. Okay. Use a subject pronoun as the subject of the sentence. And the sentence says, is he the main character in the book? And I would put, yes, he, yes, I'm going to change it. I'm going to say, no, she was the minor character in the book. Okay? So he was my sample subject pronoun, and I changed he to she. These are probably pretty hard, so if you want, come see me on these. So the next one says use an object pronoun as the object of a verb. Anna and Jamie waited excitedly for the parade to reach them. Well, what's Anna and Jamie doing in the sentence? Waited, right? And we need a object pronoun as the object of a verb. So we're going to have to add something to this after the verb waited. Okay. The third one is use an object pronoun as the object of a preposition. Have you talked to her? Her is my object. It comes after the preposition to, so I'm going to change that. The next one, use a subject pronoun as the subject of the sentence. We love listening to old recordings. So we're going to change our pronoun or our subject to a new pronoun. That's a subject. And the last one, use an object pronoun as the object of the verb. Uncle Clyde gave my sisters and me a new bikes. Now, you have to think about what your verb is. Your verb is gave, right? So you're going to change my sisters to something else, to an objective pronoun. So this is probably the hardest part of all. So I will check back in with you, but at least try it. If you have any questions on any of the parts, please come see me. And all of your notes should be in your notebook. And if you hear this, then you should come up. If you've watched the entire video, bring your notebook with your notes, and I will give you a shield for completing the notes. And then you can ask me any questions if you have any.